some news about Diddy and his finances, which, by the way, let me just suspend the thing on here. Give me 1 second. Pause on this side. Here we go. Thank you. Okay. Which, this is important. And I want to show you why it's getting so sticky for Diddy right now, okay? And no Diddy on that. Okay. When Diddy was going through his legal dispute with Diageo, okay, Diddy made a big stink on trying to make sure, and I don't know if I can find the article. He wanted to make sure his finances, and this is very common. Trump doesn't want his finances and his tax returns and everything being in lawsuits or whatever. And it's not only because maybe sometimes they're capping, they don't got as much as they do. Sometimes it's, hey, listen, if you really know that Trump has this amount liquid, for anybody who might want to sue him, then like, oh shit, if he got like, you know what I mean, $3 billion just sitting in the bank, let me just go get like my $50 million because we'll know exactly where to go find the money. So a lot of people don't like their financials to be like disclosed, right? It's really a big thing, especially these billionaires, because they're dealing with lawsuits all the time, right? Now, in the Diageo lawsuit, which he was suing them, he and I can't find it now, but he basically protested against his finances being not sealed. He was like, hey, I'll submit some finances to court, but it can't be accessible to the public. Now, what's happening with this like subpoena and everything else going on around him, everybody's digging into Diddy's personal life. And obviously, this is not even coming out via court document, but now we have Daily Mail who's saying Diddy owes the bank nearly $100 million after taking out 8 mortgages on his 3 extravagant homes in Los Angeles and Miami that were raided by Homeland Security. It said Diddy, who's 54, took out 8 mortgages to fund the purchases of 3 luxury mansions in Los Angeles and Miami, which, by the way, it says 3, so I wonder if it's 2 in LA and 1 in Miami, or 2 in Miami, 1 in LA. It says the rap star borrowed nearly $140 million from multiple banks to pay for the homes and close to $100 million is still owed. On Monday, the same properties were raided, a part of a human trafficking investigation. So let's actually read through this. It says Diddy has borrowed a eye-watering $140 million from multiple banks to pay for his extravagant property empire, raising questions as to whether if he really does have $1 billion fortune. Now, let me just stop it at that and just be. I'm trying to be very fair. Him having a mortgage, and even though I think that they're leading with he took it from pretty much 8 banks, or 8. He had 8 mortgages. That means nothing to me, right? I've always been very honest with y'all. Like, I bought all my cars, including the Maybach, and my house, all cash. And it's not probably the best thing. I don't try to finesse taxes when it comes to, like, that's a toy. Like, a fucking car is a toy. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, yo, this is for, like, work. No, come on, get over it. That's how you get audited. That's how you really, fuck yourself over, I think. However, not because you have the money is it common or even recommended that you pay cash for everything and you don't take advantage of a lot of these, incentivized programs or benefits or tax cuts by the government if you do take mortgages. So what am I saying? Do I think that because he has a mortgage, or he has 8 mortgages for 3 properties, do I think that he can't afford them? No, I think he definitely can afford them. I think he's smart. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Diddy's finances is way more complicated than me. Diddy's not like fucking thinking, oh, okay, let me just drag the money from it. He's like, they're probably realizing or probably coming up with a plan. This is the easiest and quickest way to give up the least amount of liquid finances as we have to, while maintaining um ownership or even paying. And I'm pretty sure all the fucking what do you call the interest and whatever interest rate they got from all these mortgages, I'm pretty sure they're like recouping once they do taxes and shit like that. So like, I don't think that because he has 8 mortgages for 3 properties and it's to the tune of 140 million and he owes about like 100 million, which is like about, he owes still like 2/3 of it. I don't think it means he's not as rich as we might think he is. I think he's just fucking smart. The fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, it's Diddy, right? So this article is trying to say they're raising question to see if he has $1 billion fortune. For most smart billionaires, you don't want to just buy $140 million in property, even if you have $1 billion on hand, which I'm pretty sure Diddy did not. You know what I mean? Like his net worth was $1 billion, but it didn't mean he had $1 billion liquid. Okay. Also, I keep telling you, word on the street was that Revolt, which by the way he just got rid of, was hemorrhaging cash for him. People told me like Revolt was primarily financed by him. He was not making a profit. He was hemorrhaging money, so he was losing millions of dollars to maintain this per year in trying to get new shows, promotion, and everything else to maintain. Okay? Anyway, say it could be the biggest home loan ever taken out by a Hollywood star, as the 54-year-old has needed several mortgages to fund the purchase of the 3 luxury mansions in Los Angeles and Miami. Here's the thing, too, and this is why I think, as media, unfortunately for Diddy, we're not gonna have too much sympathy for him because of what he's alleged and what people just feel like he's gotten away with over the years. But let's be honest. Didn't they say Elon Musk got like $200 billion? Nigga, when he bought Twitter, now known as X, well, what the fuck? Elon Musk Twitter purchase. He used mad loans. He used mad loans and other people's money, to kind of make the purchase. He didn't just like, hey, I'm wiring you $44 billion. Now, is his net worth like $200 billion? Yes, right? Look, he bought it for $44 billion. If we Google it now, Elon Musk net worth. It says $197 billion. Yeah, but he didn't just wire that money. Like, it was a very complicated way in how he bought it. So it's kind of interesting. This article is just trying to make it seem like, oh, Diddy didn't buy these properties cash. Maybe he's not as rich as we think he is. No. Okay. All right. So all 3 were rated. Oh, that's interesting. So there's a 3rd property in LA and Miami. We only heard about the Homely Hills property, and that's where we had seen that troll nigga who was like, yo, when my basketball go over there, I don't even go get it. The Miami joint is the Star Island joint, but apparently there's another place that he owns. I could probably do some research on him, but I don't want to dox him, even though like it's probably pretty much public knowledge, but we won't do that. Okay, all 3 were rated on Monday by Homeland Security after mounting sexual harassment and rape lawsuits, with agents ransacking the homes, taking away boxes and bags of evidence. Nearly $100 million is still owed by the rapper, producer, and entrepreneur, which is due to be paid back within the next few years, with one $23 million loan needing to be settled by 2029. Okay, that's... Oh. I'm guessing like he must have like, I don't know what type of deals these are, but like, usually our normal person mortgage is like 30 years. If he had got 30 years from 2029 would have been, what is that, 1999? I don't know any cribs he's had for that long. Anyway, they got several mortgages. Yeah, this is a Homely Hills one, I believe, right? So this is a Homely Hills one. He took out several mortgages to fund the purchase of 3 luxury mansions in Los Angeles, Miami. Okay, cool. So this is Homely Hills. We'll take a closer look at this property. This is the Miami Star Island property. I think it might be this, or maybe it's this one right here. Might be. Hold on, sorry. Might be this or this one right here. We'll see. The fuck? He took out 2 mortgages when he bought the Miami pad owned by Tommy Mottola, a music mogul and Mariah Carey's ex-husband. Mariah Carey was, I forgot she was married to Tommy Mottola. I be just linking her ass to, what do you call it again? Nick Cannon too much. And he bought it for $14.5 million in 2003. Okay. Oh, shit. They got they got the details. The assignment of mortgage and guarantee. Oh, my God. Here we go. Let's read this. Okay. The assignment of mortgage and guarantee and note, blah, 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 from HSBC Bank, whose address is da-da-da-da, whereas the assigner, the legal equitable owner and holder, da-da-da-da, made by, in the principal amount of $22 million. Okay. Yeah, we see it here. Okay. I see how TMZ found this. They pulled this from some type of public record. Okay. And this is a mortgage shit. Yo, don't this feel mad invasive? By the way, this ain't even us looking it up. TMZ just got this bitch on here. Jesus. The borrow, they don't say what the company. It's probably not Diddy's name, but it's probably a company he owns or has some type of investment in. Then there's City Mortgage for how much? So we've seen HSBC gave him $22 million. Then this is City Mortgage for, here we go, $7.25 million. And they said the payments is due in full by 2033. Oh, wow. Again, Diddy has a team of people. I got to imagine the reason why he has these loans is because, it's probably the best loans to get these type of properties. Okay, so the $22 million, when he's supposed to pay that back? Okay, we can't see it on that shit. But there's $7 million, so 22 and 7, that's about 29, right? And then there's another one here. Okay. We have Bank of America, and then they gave him $20,700,000. So they gave him $20 million, and they said he has to pay that back in 2036. Wow. So that's a 15-year mortgage. So I don't know if y'all can see it. That's a 15-year mortgage. It says the borrower got it on the July 2021. I think this is 100% for it even says up top, Miami-Dade Clerk of Court, Miami-Dade County. This is definitely for the Star Island property, if you ask me. Right? When did he buy the Star Island property? Diddy Star Island house purchase. When did he buy it? Yeah, he bought it. Bought it in 2021. Exactly. So yeah, he bought it in 2021. Look right here. The mansion known as da 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 once belonged to Cuban singer Gloria Estefan. In 1993, Gloria spent only 1.8 million on the home, and music mogul Diddy purchased the home in 2021. This is the mortgage he got for the Star Island property, which is $20 million. Okay. This is the Homely Hills look. This is when the feds was going into it. Pretty big house. You could tell how big a house is. You can just count the amount of fucking like little AC units. Usually those are like separate zones in the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? God damn, it's a lot of shit. That heating bill and cooling bill is crazy. Electric bill is crazy. All right. HSI being there. Combs bought this abandoned mansion on the outskirts of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, which he's paid $2.6 million for in 2003. And this is that property. He was hoping. Photos show the interior of the dilapidated home. He was hoping to renovate it, although he wasn't able to get the necessary funding. Okay. All right. Perfect. Oh, yeah. It shows it here, too. All right, man. So we've kind of gone through all that. Anyway, I don't think this means anything. I don't think this means anything. But I'll tell you what I do think it means in the grand scheme of things. It means that when Diddy recently sold Revolt, which allegedly we're going to find out who the owner is in the coming weeks, when he sold Revolt, that's him preparing and dumping some of the liabilities, because Revolt's supposed to be an asset, but it's a liability at the moment if I'm right in what my sources told me, that Diddy hasn't seen profit with Revolt and that he's been paying out of pocket to keep Revolt afloat. So if that's the case, where he's been paying out of pocket to keep it afloat, it's been a liability for him. So him dumping it, he gets to liquidate that type of it's a supposed asset that just hasn't turned profit yet. He has a lot of bills, right? If he owes $100 million, some that have to get repaid in the next 7 to 10 or 15 years, he's probably paying out a good amount of money just even off property. Then we got to think about like his actual living expense. If we're talking about butlers, we're talking about security, we're talking about drivers, we're talking about his jet. That's a lot of money. So perhaps maybe when he sold Revolt, he did see this coming, right? Like, okay, I got to really bunker down, right? Like if it was just only the Cassie thing and the bad press, you step down and, hopefully it goes away and maybe one day you could go back and be the leader of Revolt again. But he sold it. And this only tells me that he sold it primarily because there's a lot of bills he probably got to pay. So he owes $100 million. I'm pretty sure he has way more than that, but, there's other shit he has to pay. And, of course, you have to think about life afterwards. Okay. Interesting. Now, not only was that being reported, Diddy, and this is the feds, like, the feds have blew the lid off the can, so to speak, by, we're here. Like, we're investigating you. We don't need to do things covertly anymore. We're going to be dropping subpoenas. We're going to be dropping, summons and all those things to get to talk to the people we need to talk to. We're probably going to be very forceful, but we don't have to operate like we need to keep it quiet because you already know we ran up in your house. And one of those things that I seen happen was that Diddy's, let me see, hold on. Yeah, they have now issued federal subpoenas for all Diddy's companies. And these companies necessarily isn't like, oh, we think your money is like some illegal drug money. They believe that Diddy's wealth and finances that has came primarily through business has been used to fund all these things, which, by the way, this is going to be very messy, right? If a company was bankrolling, I don't know, like, I'll give you an example. Diddy, let's say, I'm making this up, by the way. This is not true, but I'm making it up. Diddy flies, I don't know, 5 sex workers, right, from Miami to his LA mansion, but the jet and that leg of the jet is registered or it was written off on his taxes as, hey, this was a work flight for Revolt or for Diageo, right? This, and he was flying around these women or these people really for the expectation or the solicitation and trafficking in a sense for sex, but he wrote it off as it was business. Even further than that, they're trying to verify, okay, cool. They've talked to a bunch of people. I got to imagine they've talked to Cassie already. If we could get the other people to verify some of the things that we have been talking to these people in, oh, okay, yeah, Diddy flew us all up from A to B for sex, and then they're like, okay, let's look at who was on the plane with you, right? Because, you're not going to have a plane with just one person on it. Let's go see, all right, so you're on the plane with 7 other people. Let's go interview them. Let's see if any of them will corroborate the story. Hey, why did you go from Miami to LA that day with these people? What did you do in LA? Did you have any business purpose? Was it understood that Diddy was flying you out for fun or whatever the case is? And I think that's how they're trying to corroborate their story. And you will see here, it says the raids on Diddy's homes are just a start. The feds are issuing subpoenas to companies doing business with him, aiming to identify anyone with information pertinent to the sex trafficking probe. The sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that the subpoenas all bear Diddy's name, and they were sent to various providers tied to the rappers, including private jet charter, phone providers, and computer companies, right? So they want to get all information that they can find on electronic devices, but I hear they are trying to figure out who was on all these planes, right? We're told subpoenas are being fired off by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, which we've reported is running the investigation. The sources say subpoenas will be issued to commercial airlines as well, and possibly the FAA, just in case Diddy opted for commercial flights instead of private jets. Again, any plane getting in the sky, you have to register a flight path, you have to register a manifest. That's it. You know what I mean? Which means the manifest is going to be every person who's going to be on the plane, their name, date of birth, at least. And if it's going to go international, then it becomes a little bit more complicated. But for domestic flights, name, date of birth, like, again, if somebody's going to add you to a flight, like even when I was supposed to go to, remember when Kanye was having some weird shit in Wyoming? Like he rented out some commercial plane, which I guess was operating as a private plane at that time, just for Kanye. And he was flying a bunch of journalists out. And you had, I forgot the guy's name. He used to work for Complex. They were reaching out to mad journalists, like, hey, Kanye wants to put you on a private jet. Like, all they would just ask you just to put you on is like, hey, we just need your name, date of birth, right? And just show up to this location and you just board. That's it. You know what I mean? There's no ticket, so to speak, right? Okay. As reported, the Fed's goal here is to find who's flying on Diddy's dime, where they went. They're not only looking for alleged victims, but they're also looking for potential witnesses who could support or dispute allegations of human/sex trafficking. It will be particularly intriguing to see if the people who have sued Diddy were on those planes. What's more, We're told that subpoenas will enable the feds to gather more intel about the nature of Diddy's involvement with those various businesses. Now, this is the thing I think is probably going to come and fuck Diddy and no Diddy on that about Diddy. But because Diddy was such a important asset and he had so many companies that probably had budgets for him to travel. Like, for example, like even when he just got like, detained for a second and they found his personal plane in, I don't know, they found his personal plane in Antigua. Here's the thing. Diddy had all these companies. I'm pretty sure he had access to multiple private jets. Diageo had a whole budget for him to go promote the Ciroc and DeLeon. I'm pretty sure they would be like, hey, we have this private jet chartered for you, or you have this budget to charter a private jet. And then he would probably have his private jet that he owns personally. And he could say he could give it to his kids. He could give it to his side chicks. He could give it to, yo, y'all can fly with this for now.
Man, so new allegations coming out about Diddy, man. Now they're saying that Diddy, you feel me, he's like $100 million in debt, which probably is true. But people don't understand this one thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, even all the negative stuff about Diddy, no smart businessman, you feel me? Let's say you're gonna buy a house, like Ross buying all these houses right now. Ross probably has loans out the same way as Diddy. Like, let's keep it a beam, bro. Diddy, he probably has like 200, you feel me? Who knows how much worth of real estate he has. But like, they said he's like 100 to $150 million in debt. He probably has a payment plan, you feel me, to pay that off within like the next 10 to 20 years. They said the most recent thing he has to pay off is in like 2029. Diddy's making a lot of money. Like, you feel me? This is what you call good debt. So you don't have to give all that money up front. Because who wants to openly just give 100 to $150 million up front when he could probably just pay like $2 million a year, or like $3 million a year, or $4 million a year. Like, so he's getting to actually make more and more money so he can pay it off better and better, rather than just paying it all at once. Like, you feel me? If it was probably like 5 to 10 minutes, he probably would have just paid it all off. But like $100 million, I feel him on that, bro. Like, no one's really spending $100 million to like fully pay a house off. Like, it's like cash rich billionaires versus like billionaires. Like, Elon Musk, he's not a cash rich billionaire. Like, it's hard going in just in a situation like this. Like, Elon Musk, he's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but he doesn't like, his money's in like stocks and like stuff like that, intellectual property of stuff that he owns, or like hella stocks that he owns. And then you have people like, let's see who's rich, who's just like cash rich. Mark Zuckerberg's cash rich. So like, how he's building his house in Hawaii and stuff right now, or bunker, wherever it is, he's cash rich. All this is cash. Like, you feel me? He probably has billions in a bank account. So it's like different types of like money. I feel like Diddy, like overall like net worth, he's probably like a billionaire, or like really like 800 plus million dollars up there. But like liquid cash, Diddy probably doesn't keep more than like $50 million liquid, $50 to $100 million liquid. Because if you just have your money just sitting there, why have your money just sitting there when you can have your money making money for you? You feel me? So that's probably the mindset that Diddy had, which is not a bad mindset. You leaving money in a bank account is not really going to change anything unless it's like a high yield bank account. But anyways, you feel me? I don't want to nerd anyone out with all these topics. So let me know how you guys feel about the whole thing. It's your boy Big Ag News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you guys feel about Diddy. And I am out.